Hey friends, welcome to the Angie Ambrosetti Show. Let her out to play. I'm Angie, your host, a teenage mom turned multi-six-figure earner, married to the same man for nearly 40 years. I'm a homeschooling mom of 7 and totally unqualified, at least on paper, but wildly called by God. Remember, He doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Here, we are going to talk about it all. Healing from the hard stuff, building a business with heart, raising a big family, walking in faith, and finally breaking free from the lies that said we weren't enough. So if you're ready to stop playing small, shake off the doubt and the shame, and step fully into who you were created to be, girl, you are in the right place. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Angie Ambrosetti Show. As you know, I'm going to say I'm super excited about my guest today, my sweet friend Jordan Reynolds. We met, several years ago, but about 2 years ago, we were in an enclosed room together, a house, and we got cozy. I got to know her better. She got to know me better. And you can almost say we're inseparable now. Even though we live on opposite sides of the United States, we have spent so much time together the past 2 years. And she is someone who literally fills my cup. She could actually be my child. I have two children that are older than her, but I somehow feel like I'm like her age when we're together because we have so much fun. And I just love her so much. And I know you guys are going to love her too. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about her and then I'm going to let her take over. Jordan has been married to her sweetheart, Josh, for 5 years. She is a multi six-figure earner. And guys, when she was 21 years old, she was a six-figure earner. She is a social media guru in my book, but she says that she does social media management. She does retreats. She is a life coach as well. She also is very passionate about community building, which is something that I am passionate about as well. So, welcome, my friend, to the show today.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me, Angie. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. I love the conversations that we've had over the past couple of years of really getting to know one another, like the nooks and crannies of our lives, and just being in lots of rooms together, spending time. You helped me a lot with my social media, which I appreciate so much. And I just want my listeners to hear your story. I want them to get to love you the way that I do. So tell us a little bit about you, friend.
Yeah, so I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing today. We were just chatting before we started about that. At 17, I started teaching fitness classes. So I fell in love with Zumba. I fell in love first with fitness whenever I went to a boot camp class, and I was like, this is my thing. So started teaching fitness, loved it so much. And I really, really still had a lot of health issues though, despite like being in fitness, being an athlete. And then I slowly found some products I loved. I started in network marketing at 19, and while I was in college, I didn't really know why I was there. I'll be super honest. I don't know if anybody listening to this felt that way. I kept trying to figure out how I could possibly make a degree fit me. I was switching between business, marketing, kinesiology, and I got as far as I could before I had to take a bunch of classes I didn't even like.
Yeah.
And so once my business hit the level it did at 21, I said, well, I'm leaving. And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I love you guys. Y'all know this has not been my jam. I loved like the social part of it. I was in
Uh-huh.
a couple sororities, but it wasn't really my thing. So I left and I started traveling. So I actually solo traveled Europe for a couple years. I wasn't married or in a relationship, so I went by myself, and it was probably one of my favorite times in my entire life.
That's
I
awesome.
loved it. And then came back in 2019. I met my husband on a dating app, and we are typical millennials. We met on Bumble, and it actually worked out. He's great. And in 2020, I actually started working with like different companies when it came to social media and helping them with their branding, helping them with UGC work, helping them be like the face of their company and making videos, and then also working in house. And if you guys remember anything from 2020 to 2022 online, it was like drinking from a fire hose. I worked a lot. I saw a lot of great growth with the company I was working with. We took them from 7 to 8 figures, but it was a ton of work. And
Mm.
so I knew, being an entrepreneur, I loved my time. And I was like, I just got to go back into this thing. It was really funny, and we were talking about this earlier. In 2020, I was working in social media, but I had a job I was working with and working with brands. I definitely heard God tell me to start a social media coaching business, and I knew it was going to evolve into something else. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I loved social, I loved marketing just from building the first business, really falling in love with it with like fitness too. And I knew I was good at it, but it's kind of scared me a little bit. And I was like,
Yeah.
and finally, leaving, getting in a mastermind in 2023 was really pushed and also encouraged heavily to start a social media business type thing and just see what happens. And it's been
Mhm.
probably the biggest blessing of my life. So I love helping people, whether it's in wellness or social media and building what they want, helping to simplify it, and also helping people just really see how great they truly are and that they have so much to say and give in this life, and just helping support them doing that. So that's a
Yeah.
little bit about me. I also have 2 dogs. They're adorable.
Super important. Two
Super
dogs.
important. Yes.
Yes. No, yeah. I just recently had an interview with Heather. Of course, you know Heather.
Love Heather.
And yeah, she has her little puppy business. And I- like, I literally went home and hugged my puppy. I was like, and my puppy is not really a puppy. I mean, she is a English bulldog, and she's not little.
She's
She was
so
like,
cute
what's
though.
happening here? But let's go back to what you said about college. So 100%. I have always like had this aversion to the fact that I don't have a college degree, but I
Yeah.
sometimes forget that I actually did go to college. I just didn't get the degree. And I
Yeah.
think it was so much, and probably in your parents' mind, too, is like, because this is how I felt like, well, you have to have a college degree. If you don't have a college degree, what are you going to do with your life?
Yep.
And so, like, I was married and going to college. I went and had babies. And by the time I had my second one, I was like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. I even did some online, but there was that whole feeling of if you don't get a college degree, like, you're never going to amount to anything. What are you going to do? And that isn't the case. And even today, like, I know that for you several years ago, and for me, it was many, many moons ago, but I think the talk around that, the conversation is a little bit different.
For sure. And I'm super glad that it is
Yeah.
because I feel like I always talk about this. I'm like, we live in the most amazing time right now where we can
Yeah.
basically make whatever we want happen if
Mhm.
we work hard enough. And I think a lot of people that have that like drive and that ambition to be an entrepreneur and create things,
Mhm.
college does not fit us. We do not fit into the bubbles that they want to put people in.
Mhm.
And so it's like, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely tough. So I'm glad it's changing.
Yeah, me too. So of my, let's see, 5, 6 of my children who are out of school and adults now, 2 of them, well, 3 of them, I guess, went to college. And I would say, I'm not downing college at all. If you're
Yeah.
going to be a physician, this is just my experience, a physician, a lawyer, or pharmacist, think something that you absolutely cannot do without a college degree, obviously. That's super important. But yeah, I'm so glad that the conversation around that has changed. So, anyways, just want to throw that in. But then it also, like, I forgot to mention at the very beginning your passion for travel. And, I am a big traveler as well. And
Yeah.
so, when I hear you talk about, and we've had this conversation quite some time ago about traveling all over Europe and all over like you did alone. Like, I'm like, I can go to my local airport alone, but I don't really like to travel a ton by myself. So tell me, like, were you just always like confident and brave, and you're like, I'm just going to take the bull by the horns, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to travel all over Europe, and I'm going to do all the things by myself. Tell me about that.
I think I've always been someone that goes after what they want,
Hmm.
but I also feel like, in high school, I got the thing in the yearbook that's like most likely to travel the world, which I thought was hilarious. It was a throwaway one, which is funny because it wasn't even supposed to be in the yearbook. And I was like, cool, that would be a great idea. And so I knew graduating, I wanted to see cool things and go
Hmm.
places. I just didn't know how I was going to make that happen. You know,
Hmm.
I just always had that desire. And then if you ever want to solo, like what I did is I actually found companies that I could pay for a spot and I would go with people my age. So I didn't know
Okay.
any of these people.
Hmm.
But when I could finally financially do it, I was like, I'm out. And so I
Yeah.
was like, I knew I didn't probably have the street smarts completely to go fully by myself. And I've seen
Hmm.
Taken. So I wanted to like be with a group.
Yeah.
And so I started traveling with a company called EF Ultimate Break and went on like 5 or 6 trips with them. And it was great. I think it's cool because they even have these for people like because EF is 18 to 35. They have
Hmm.
another company that's 35 and up, and they're
Hmm.
amazing. But I think it's so fun because you know you're taken care of and you're going to
Yeah.
meet people that really have the same passion as you. They really want to see cool things.
Hmm.
So it freaked my mom out when I first went. She's like, "Where are
I
you going?"
bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
But I always wanted to travel. I just think once I had the means to do it, I was ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. How many, like, how many different countries have you been to?
I think 16. It would
Whoa.
have been more if 2020 hadn't happened, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, so 16 right now.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, so just to let our audience know, so Jordan and I have done lots of traveling together, but it's all been in the United States the past couple of years. But this year, we're actually going to Cabo together, and then we are going to Italy, to the Amalfi Coast. And we were just having this conversation before the call about our husbands are going to come over and meet us there. And I'm like, she's going to be my travel agent. Like, she's going to have to plan things out for us because she's been there. And I think it's going to be so much fun.
I cannot wait. I
Yeah.
am so excited. So excited.
I think we're going to end up having with our we're going with the mastermind. So we're going to be there. How many days are we there with them? Do you
I
know?
think 5 or 6.
Okay. And then we're going to I don't know how long we're staying after, but at least a solid week, if not two. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to work my husband up for that one.
You guys are gonna have so much fun.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite places, period.
Mm. Now, have you been to Amalfi Coast before?
I haven't. I've been to Cinque Terre, which don't hate me if people are gonna say this, but they're not similar, but they are ish similar because they're on the
Mm.
coast with cliffs. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so you said cliffs, and that reminds me of this jumping thing that you did this past year. What was that called?
Base jumping.
Base jumping. Yes. I was like, I have no
Would
desire
you
to
do
do
that
that.
with me?
I just said I have no desire to do that. And she's like, would you do that with me? Listen, you never know. You never
Okay.
know. But tell me about that experience. Tell our listeners because I remember waiting for the videos to come through. I was like, I cannot wait. Like, first of all, I want to make sure she survived. And then I was like, she's going to love this. I got to hear about it.
Yeah. So I found this company on TikTok and I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. How crazy. And then our mastermind ended up going to the place that this company's based. And I was like, it's gotta
Providence.
happen.
Yeah.
Gotta happen. Let's go. So what was really funny is I got there and I had been training myself to like not say negative things about the experience because I've seen those videos and I know you guys have too,
Yeah.
where people get up there and they act crazy and they just like lose it. And I was like, I'm gonna be filmed. I'm gonna be a normal person
Yeah.
and actually have fun and be aware of
Hmm.
what's happening. Cause
Yeah.
I mean it's a thing. So I finally get there though, and I started freaking out. And I'm so thankful for Josh, my husband. I called him and I was like, babe, like, should I? He's reaching out to me. He's like, let's book this thing. And I'm freaking out. He's like, Jordan, you're going to regret this if you don't. And so I was like, all right. So I booked it. And it was the last day before we were leaving or it was the day we were leaving in that morning. And the guy picks me up in a truck. I'm super excited. We go to this remote location and we get there. And I think I probably should have texted my husband. I loved him. My bad. Because there's
Yeah.
no service.
Okay.
So we get out of the truck and it's me and this other girl that's going to be jumping. And I look up and I'm like, we're jumping off that. Okay, cool. Hardest hike of my life. And I thought I'd already had the hardest hike of my life because we were with Brooke Hemingway. And if you know her, she's like She-Hulk. And
Yeah.
I think she could have carried all of us up the mountain that we scaled is what I call it. But that hike that we did to get up there was so much worse. But we got up there and it was amazing. Like standing up there before you go and you're getting suited up and you're like, are we really about to do this? It was so surreal. And then finally you get like strapped in, walk to the edge, and they ask you questions. And I'd watched so many videos. I was like,
Yeah.
let's go. And then he counts down three, two, one, and like you jump off a cliff. And then the free fall was probably the most insane thing I've ever felt in my life. It felt like it was a minute long, but it was like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. Like I would do it again today, but we live in Oklahoma. There's nothing to jump off of.
Yeah.
So
There's nothing to jump off of. That's hilarious. Okay, so that was going to be my question is like, what's the difference in that and like skydiving? Because my husband, or is that what it's called? Yeah, my husband
yeah,
and two of my boys actually did that when we were in Hawaii a couple years ago, and they said it was the best thing ever. At
it's
the
so
time,
cool.
I had worked up the like courage. I was going to do it, but our youngest son was not 18, and so he
Mm,
couldn't. And so and that got me off the hook. But he's like, okay, we go back to Hawaii. Now I'm going to do it because he turns 18 next month. And I'm like, ugh.
that's amazing.
And so base jumping, there's no one connected to you,
I
or
would not
is there?
I would not have made it, Angie. If I had to pull that, we wouldn't even
Okay.
be having this conversation.
Because you see, I'm speechless, which is very uncommon
You
for
would have
me.
that. No, you're
Okay, so
stuck to someone. So I had
okay,
seen the guy. It was really funny. I had seen the guy on TikTok, and so once he showed up and he was the one jumping with us, I was like, I want to jump with him. I've seen him
okay.
jump hundreds of times. His
Hmm.
name's Nick. So Nick was strapped to me, and what you do is you are the one that like jumps, and then basically they throw the parachute. So it's really quick,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, you're strapped to somebody, and then he like brings you down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I feel better about it because I was thinking, oh my gosh, she went to the edge and she just jumped.
I would not have done that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my thing either. So hey, I don't know. Like I'm not saying no when we go to Italy, but we'll see.
What's really funny is they do have a sister company in Italy, which
Of
is
course they do.
hysterical.
She's gonna have this booked before we ever get there, guys.
I
Just I
really
just know.
want to
I just know
go.
her.
I'll send you videos. I will
Okay.
say it looks more intimidating than the one I did,
Okay.
but it's gorgeous.
Okay.
You're in the Dolomites if you guys have seen
Yeah.
those photos. It's breathtaking.
I know that when my husband and my two sons, my two younger boys did it, they said it was the most amazing thing.
I
And of
can't wait
course,
to do it.
there
I will do it
videos
with
like
you.
yours, where their face is like all, but I'm like, dude, you have to have it on video, like, because you got to see what it looks like. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, yeah, we'll
I think
see.
you'll love it. I
Hmm.
think you'll love it. But if I can do it with you, I'll do it with you. I've wanted
Yeah,
to do it for years.
okay. And it's because it would be the same, like it would be base jumping, right? Is that what they do there too, or is it
They base jump.
okay?
So you know where the guys with the wingsuits?
Yeah,
So that's kind of the platform you jump off of. It's a little different.
okay, okay.
It's cool.
Well, yeah, I'm not hyperventilating yet, so it's totally fine. We won't get into that,
Yeah.
but I love that. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about your social media business. Like I know that the Lord gave you clarity on that, and I just know that when the Lord speaks, sometimes we don't always listen at first because isn't it kind of like the whisper? And then it gets a little bit louder. It's like sometimes I'll tell my kids, I'm like, is your hearing aid turned on or is it turned down? Because
Yeah.
you're not listening. And I know that we're like that sometimes with the Lord. And then he just makes it so plain, so clear that
Yeah.
you have to get through roadblocks to not do
Yeah. I think it's funny whenever like you just described it so perfectly. I also think sometimes I'm stubborn. I know that you know me well. You're like, yeah. Um,
it.
I'm kind of like, did I really hear that? But it's been amazing. It started out as just coaching
Hmm.
and then shifted into management. And I think like you and I are super passionate about getting around people, getting around, the right rooms. And last year I went to Align in Scottsdale. Yep.
Hmm.
And I was on a plane with no Wi-Fi and my phone, I think it either died or my headphones died. So I had time to actually think. And again, he came and he was like, "You're doing a retreat in April." And I heard it. audibly. And I was like, okay. And I knew like I had a passion to help people create content. And so that's where the creation retreats like even happened. And I said,
Hmm.
okay, like obviously I regret not starting this in 2020. I'm going to listen a little bit quicker this time.
Yeah.
And the next week I had it booked and we are doing our third one in Scottsdale in April. So it's been awesome.
Wow. So tell our listeners a little bit about, because I just recently saw that you had a spot or two available, and I would love for them to know, like maybe there's somebody out there who's listening who's like, oh my gosh, that would totally be my jam. Like I need a retreat like that. And maybe they don't even know they need a retreat, but they're going to hear this podcast and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been praying for. That's what I've been thinking about. Or I didn't know there was something like that. Sometimes I hear about retreats and I'm like, I didn't even know there was something like that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, like when it is, where it is, and what someone can, expect to walk away from it with.
So it's April 9th through the 12th. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. The house is amazing. It's so bougie and fun. And I think I just posted this on my stories today. It was like if you're tired of creating content in your living room and you want to really walk away like excited about what it is that you do, like come
Hmm.
to this retreat. You're going to leave with 30 plus days of content. We do a content day with professional photography. You know what to film and we have some other fun surprises. But what I love is seeing people walk in, and most people come by themselves. They don't know who's there. And,
Yeah.
they walk out with so much confidence, so many new friendships, and they really feel excited about what it is that they're going to be able to create and what they want to do. And
Hmm.
so it's like, yes, it's a working weekend, but it's also really fun. We do a lot of fun things too. And so I just definitely feel like with content, we have to do it. Why not make it fun?
Hmm.
And I also include coaching before and after because I know that for me, implementation, sometimes I need somebody to like shove me a little bit with love.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's going to be so fun. Doing another one in the fall, and then we're doing spring, we're going international for the first time. So it's going to look a little
Mm.
different,
Yeah.
but it's going to be amazing.
Well, the cool thing about when go to different places and talking about going international is like the B-roll, the pictures,
Hmm.
all the things that someone can get to just like really create that living brand that we talk about a lot in our mastermind. And I think it opens up a whole new world for people,
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. I
Hmm.
think that like we can get cute pictures like at home and,
Yeah.
doing I don't know. I have a lot of typing on my computer or doing a podcast. B-roll is great. But what I'm really excited about is helping people see that like you can do this anywhere. You don't
Hmm.
have to just do it at home.
Yeah.
And you can also do it with people because being an entrepreneur is great, but it's also sometimes really lonely because we are by ourselves a lot in front of a
Mhm.
screen. So I really am super excited for these spaces for sure.
Yeah. I love that whole idea of retreats. Of course, you know me, like I'm all about the travel. I'm all about
Yeah,
being in the room with people, learning, because I remember the first room that I was in back in 2019 and the impact that it had on me. And I just decided, Lord willing, I'm not going to miss another one of these rooms that I have the opportunity to be in. And so just looking back at just talking about travel again, the past year, the past couple years. I know last year you traveled, I mean, a lot, some of it, a lot of it was in the United States, but still like 16, 18
it
trips. Was
was
it more than that?
it was 17.
Okay. See, I knew it was a ton.
It's
I'm
crazy.
like, this girl is outdoing me on trips. I've got
Mm,
to I went back through to check mine. I'm like, this girl has really got it
so
going on.
funny.
But it is so much fun. I know that. Okay, so tell us. Oh, and don't worry, listeners, we're going to put all this information in the show notes so that if the retreat sounds like something that you might be interested in, we want to be able to hook you up with Jordan for that. So the other thing I'd love for you to share with our listeners is about your social media coaching and online business that you have, because when I said guru, guys, I'm not even kidding about that. Like she is a guru at this. She knows what she's doing. She's helped so many different um people, I don't even know what the other word is to say, get to high levels and get to figure out batching and different things like that. So give us a little insight about that, because I would 100% believe there's probably people listening to this recording that are like, hey, it would really be so beneficial to me if I had someone to give me the tips or help me out, or even do some of the posting for me, whatever that might look like. Can you give us a few tips and kind of tell us about your management program?
Yeah. So management, I work with you on posting out whatever it is that you want. I also work with strategy with you and really getting in and figuring out your voice, what it is you want to say, and how to really say it in a way that gets in front of the right people.
Mhm.
I also I do things a little differently just because I am a creator myself. Like we work on your bio, your highlights. We also look at like what it is when people get into your links and does it make sense? Is it quick? Is it clear? And we work together on that. Maybe there's a freebie you want to do. What are your goals? Are you wanting to get really booked on podcasts? And definitely I do social media management, but also I'm like strategies like my love as well. So I'm like,
Mhm.
how can we build your business faster? How can we grow your impact? What else do we need in place? I love helping people figure out like what it is that could be their next step that would absolutely change everything for them.
Mhm.
So with management, we partner with you and we also like post for you and really love helping business owners be able to know that that's happening and they don't have to worry about it.
Mhm.
Um, with coaching, it's similar. And what I love about it is helping people have a foundation first because a lot of us are just waking up and we're stressed out about like what to even post. That's what I feel like I get 99% of the time in my DMs, or they have
Mhm.
no idea what to do. They're just researching, they're trying to find somebody on Instagram, which a lot of people have only built their accounts teaching other people how to do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all find someone that has built an actual like business online. That's who you need to learn from. And
Mhm.
so what I love helping people do is building from that place because it's so different building as like a business owner than as somebody that wants to get paid for views as a
Mhm.
creator.
Yeah.
And so, like, helping you create a community if that's what you want to do, helping you get the foundations down with batching, helping you use your phone and it becoming an asset, not a time suck. Because if you're sitting on your phone all the time trying to find videos, like, that is such a waste of time and it's so frustrating. And then
Mhm.
you're not creative because you're overwhelmed and you're like, well, this is so hard. So I
Mhm.
love simplifying it and just coming alongside you and helping you not just see results, but also show up online in a way that feels good for you. So
Mhm.
we do coaching. We have an Elevate Collective is what we call it. It's our group coaching with one-on-one, and it's 6 months. And we have that going on right now. It's awesome. The ladies are crushing it. I also do one-on-one. I also offer VIP days. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
evolved so much since the
Yeah.
beginning, but I love taking the guesswork out of it and really helping you guys with a plan that is doable.
Mhm.
Because if we look at it, like it can be really stressful and overwhelming, but I love to make it simple.
Mhm. Yeah. And I know that you have a group on social media, on Facebook, that people can, a free group that people can get in and they can, get some of your tips, and you give encouragement and that sort of thing. So that's something that's still available, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Social Media Powerhouse Community. We have, as of today, like 830 people in it. It's
Mhm.
crazy. Um, I would say get in it because it's
Yeah.
it's not going anywhere. It's
Yeah.
it's so fun.
What is a freebie, a free tip that you could give to our
Yeah.
listeners today? Something that would be, that people really struggle with, or just, I don't know. I know I'm just putting you on the spot here, but give them a tip of something that they could do on social media today that would be impactful, so to speak.
I have a couple. Okay. So the first one would be get in your stories and start talking every
Mhm.
single day. My
Okay.
challenge for you guys for the next 15 days is to do that because it's going to be less scary. Because I know a lot of y'all heard me say that and you're like, nope. I want you to do it. Your
Yeah.
business is going to grow and you're going to also grow so much trust with your audience too.
Mhm.
So, talk in your stories, talk about your service, your product, but also talk about your life. Like, people actually do care what you eat. People actually care that you go to the gym or you have a dog or that your daughter is in softball. And you definitely don't have to show your kiddos if you don't want to, but you can also talk about the things that they do, what you love about them, what you
Hmm.
love doing with them. And what I love about social is you choose how much you want to share.
Yeah.
So don't let that hold you back. If you're like, well, I'm really private, you get to choose what you can be private about because there's a
Hmm.
lot of my life that you see me all over social media, but I'm not out there like sharing all the things. So,
Yeah.
first tip is to just get in your stories with your face. You are enough. Throw stuff to the side. If you have a messy house like me, it's fine. Shove it over there, make it
Yeah.
cute. The second thing is like, decide what your consistency level is for this season of your business on social. Are you showing up 7 days a week? Are you showing up five? Are you showing up three? When I coach people, that's where I tell them to start. We have to
Hmm.
have levels because if we try to start at like seven and you've never been consistent, you're going to burn out
Yeah.
and you're going to hate it and be like, well, this is too hard. It's because
Hmm.
we just started like too much too fast.
Yeah.
So decide your consistency level. And then the last thing I would say is like your job is to show up consistently. The things we do consistently, we get better at and we get faster at. But also, like, don't judge yourself and sit there and watch your screen and be like, well, did I get any likes? Did my views go up? And keep refreshing your page and then
Yes.
delete it if it apparently flops. I actually think they're just lessons and you're building on that,
Hmm.
especially if you're getting back into it or if you are brand new at this. And just let yourself be a beginner and just post. You're
Yeah.
going to get better.
Hmm.
Those are my tips.
Thank you. Thanks for those. I know it's so funny. And I have a question too, as soon as I
Yeah.
say this, but the first time that I ever did a Facebook Live, which was back in like 2015, in the fall of
Hmm.
2015, and honestly, I looked terrified. And
Yeah.
I maybe I was. I probably was because I'm like, I seriously had this look on my face the whole time. And now I don't even really think about what I'm gonna say. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go talk about this. Oh, I need to go talk about that. And I just get on, I talk, and then I just talk too long instead of, being succinct
Yeah.
sometimes. But what she said is 100% true. Like when you start going to the gym, if you go 7 days a week, you're not gonna stay consistent. Like, you're just
Yeah.
not. And it's the same thing with anything that we do. So with, going live or going like so to speak live in your stories by using your voice. And these are some great tips that Jordan shared. And she shared them with me many months ago when we were coaching together and it was just phenomenal. I love it. So I would challenge each one of you to take these 3 steps and go do it. The question that I have for you, my friend, is what is your opinion professionally about someone having, let's just talk about Facebook in general, a public versus a friends only?
Yeah, I think if we're business owners and the goal is to grow our impact, we have to be public. I
Mhm.
think that a lot of people I work with, they might have things on their Facebook or Instagram that they're like, "Well, I would rather not have this." I'm like,
Yeah.
either make a new Instagram account for Facebook though, for business, I would say just like either delete or archive those things you don't want people to see and make your account public. Because if
Okay.
the goal is impact and business, we have to be public so people can find us.
Yeah. So for instance, if someone they say they're going to post 3 times today and 2 of those are going to be about their business, they're going to make it public, you know. But then they want to share about their kids, but they don't want to make that public. Like we used to have the option to, edit each one of those. Is that still the case?
For Facebook, you can still make it like friends only, the ones that you want. Yeah.
Okay. So if you go public, it's not like every single post that's ever been up there is public. It's only
Right.
the ones that you make public. Is that right?
Yes, for
Okay.
Facebook.
That's what I was thinking, because recently I've chatted with a couple of people about that, and I thought that was the case, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I think that's really helpful information. What else do you wanna share with us today, friend? I don't wanna take up too much of your time. I know you're super busy with all these businesses and even we didn't even talk about the community piece, although I know with your retreats, you're doing and, getting yourself in the room to build community just to get to know more people. Um, I love that.
I'm excited. I have not launched the community yet, so you guys will see it. I lost my community when I had to step away from teaching fitness 2 years ago, and I shared this, I think, with you guys. Like, I've missed it. I
Yeah.
need my people, so I'm creating like a women's club where I'm from.
I
That's
love
just
that.
it. I don't even know really what it's gonna
Yeah.
be, but it's just gonna be like a fun thing to be a part of, whether you're a business owner or not.
Hmm.
And so if you're in Oklahoma, hit me up. I think our first event's gonna be a line dancing class that I'm
Ooh.
teaching.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like people need community.
Hmm.
And so I'm not seeing it where I live and I want to create it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm excited about.
That's cool. I recently attended an event and they have these all over, but in Tennessee or where I am in Tennessee, they have it's called Women is it called Women Connect or We Connect or something like that.
Yeah.
Now I can't even remember what it's called. But I went to one 2 weeks ago and I didn't know anyone. There was about 8 people there and I sat down beside a lady. We started, chatting
Yeah.
and we became really good friends over the past 2 weeks. Like we spent a lot of time together.
That's
We're
awesome.
doing lots of fun things together, and I was like, "You know what? There was a time when I would not walk into a room by myself
Mhm.
because I just felt insecure, like, all the things that you can imagine, and, 1, I was super proud of myself for going, and then I was praying on the way, I was like, "Lord, put me beside the person that needs to be encouraged by me and that I need to give encouragement to," and man, he just did it.
That's
It was
awesome.
amazing. So, anyways, I am so thrilled that you came on today. You shared these tips. You told us about the retreat. We talked about the fun travel and all the things that we're doing, that we've been doing. And I just love you so much. I'm so thankful that our friendship has developed in the way that it has.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I love
You are
you.
so welcome. I love you, girl. Okay, guys, we are going to put in the show notes all of the ways that you can communicate or connect with Jordan. And I'm telling you, take these social media tips. And if you are into social media at all and you need some tips and tricks and all the things, go check out her Facebook page. Look at the retreat that she has coming up. And if you need some assistance with your social media, she can be your girl for that too. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And we'll see you next time on the Angie Amberzetti Show. Bye. That's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in with me today. I hope today's episode stirred your soul, sparked your faith, and reminded you that your story is far from over. Keep walking in freedom, keep showing up bold, and never forget God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Be sure to leave a review, subscribe, or share this podcast with a friend who needs to hear it as well. Until next time, keep letting her out to play because the world needs your fire.